Hello and good morning. So I was guided to go on camera and talk about some of the tendencies I see around New Earth children at this time being, and what is important as a parent or as a person working with children to pay attention to in these times. So if you do not know me yet, I'm Matilda Lerke and I'm a healer and energy intuitive, and I work among other people, age groups. I work with children and teenagers and young adults. So what I do to assist children is that I have a clairsentient ability to really feel how they're feeling and what they're going through at the moment, and to assist them energetically to realign to an inner state of balance and harmony, and also to assist you as a parent and adult to understand what they're going through and how you can assist them best, and also really to apply the higher perspective in your family to understand what does it mean that if they're born with karma, without, I'm gonna go into that, and what does it mean the behaviors they're expressing at the moment, and how are they viewing life where they're at the moment, and how can you help them best to really allow their true self to be expanded, explored, and expanded in this life. So I really love that part of my job. So, and if you're more curious, you're really welcome to connect with me, but more about that later. I want to talk about the inspiration I have received. So I first want to explain around karma. So what I see at the moment is that there are a lot of children, young children at the planet, who are born without karma or with very little karma. And what does that mean? And it's a good thing, by the way, so don't be worried if your child doesn't have karma. It actually means that they chose not to go through these learning experience as a soul of suffering and difficulties. They are jumping right into this experience and want to expand and explore their potential by expanding right away and be who they are, and allow the free flow of energy that they are to flow through them, so they can express their full nature from the beginning, from the moment they start this journey. And it also means that they are not willing in the same way to contract like many of us was. And I can just explain some roles we often take on in this life. So many of us come in as transformers. We come in here because we want to change the path, we want to change some family dynamics, we want to change some dynamics in the society, and therefore we choose to really emerge in these experiences and to transform them through our own bodies, through our own experience, which make us transformers. So it's a role we take on. We don't have to be that all our lives, but many of you can probably really relate to that you chose to really shift something in your family dynamics, shift something in the way you see yourself and what is within you, to really bridge a gap that is in this society, in this world we have, the human experience, to allow these younger souls to come in and have a different experience. So they start somewhere completely different, and they start a whole new way of being and emerging here on earth. It's an emerging life as I receive it. It's really, really exciting. So these younger souls, they don't want to have this experience of going through karma, going through contraction. They simply just want to come here to explore and expand, which means they often waited a while to come in. And maybe you also a parent who's trying to conceive one more child, but have difficulties conceiving that new child, even though you have a feeling it's gonna be now, or there is a baby there for coming in for me sometimes, but maybe you have not succeeded. And know that this is a part of it. It's a part of the game we are playing. You're not doing anything wrong. Your body is just waiting for the exact right timing for the soul to come in, because the energy needs to be right in order for that soul to come in, so it can be received in your body without exploring this transformer potential or this karma. So it can come in and start expanding right away. So I've seen quite a lot of children that type lately. So we can also have different roles here on earth, and I won't go so much into that, but what I see for these younger children is that when they're born, they are relying on the support from the family and other people. So these are contracts that had been made in the energies a long time ago already, before they came here on the planet, so before you even came on the planet. And that is some and time is of course not linear, so it's a bit maybe difficult to grasp, but really understand that these are contracts for you that you're having. It doesn't sound so romantic, you can also use a different word, but this is the word I'm using. So you have some agreements that you're here to support your child. You might have gone through a lot of purging, a lot of transformation, a lot of transcending in order to be there for your child right now. And you might not feel perfect at all, and that doesn't matter, because that's a part of the plan. You're also transforming as you're going in through to this experience of being a parent and changing belief patterns, emotional ways around yourself and around being a parent, how you see the role of being a parent, and into being more that of being a way shower and being the one who arrived first to just prep it all for this new soul to come in and do its job. That doesn't sound very romantic, but I'm sure you really know what I mean when you're tuned in with that higher perspective. How it looks in reality can be very different, because you of course have this strong bond to your child and feel that you're there for them, but also understand that the way you're there for them is going to shift over time and over your understanding of who you are. So what I see here at the moment is that it is required a new way of supporting your child. You might have felt that there are these certain ways that you have to go about being a parent, and this is what good parenting is, and you might find that your child needs something completely different. So what I'm sensing is that we're usually having these days where we put them in the kindergarten, the daycare, then the school, and there is something going on there right now about what are the usual activities that a child can be part of during the day, and for some it's even law that they have to go there every day. And there are some children right now who really rely on a different kind of support. It relies on you tapping in as a parent and feeling, is this the right place for me and for my child to be right now, and is this the way I support my child in grounding in their energy onto earth? Because I know that my child does not necessarily want to go through a contraction, and there's no judgment in that, because also know that where the child and where you're coming from, is a very neutral and loving place. So there's no judgment when you're feeling that things are getting really difficult, or you don't know which is the right decision for you to make around your child and how to support it. But know that these children, they're really relying on letting the energy flow freely through them, and that can really require you to open up to new ways of seeing life and seeing what is important for your child, for a child to thrive. So allow yourself to be open and guided in the now moment. So don't go into the worry and stress about it, like my child is not doing well, it's up to me to find a solution. Know that you have the whole heavens with you, that there are tons of guides helping you in this. And if the timing is not right, then it's not now to maybe shift where your child is, or maybe shift the opportunities around you. But just know that there's something going on here around being also a spiritual and divine being and receiving the support you need, because we have been heavily indoctrinated by ourselves, by this experience that we have chosen for us and chosen to transform, to believe that if you're who you really are, if you're who you truly are, which is a spiritual being included, then you cannot be supported in this experience. And you're about to change that, and that's a really good thing. And these children come in here and just ready to live that spiritual experience and being fully supported and experience that from you. So how it's going to look for each one of you can be very different, and you might have a child that's really thriving in the school, and then that's of course not up to you to just choose something else because you think, oh, I'm supposed to choose something else. It's about just feeling into where are you and your child transforming and opening up new potentials, and where does my child need to be supported in a different way than what I have been used to experience as the right support or the right thing to do around children. So that was really the first part. And you're always welcome to contact me if you have any questions around this, because that are some of the things I can feel into and help you to open up to if you're like, okay, I don't know if this is the right kindergarten for my child, I don't know if this is the right place for my child to be, it does not feel choiceless for me to have my child here. I'm not really certain that this is the right place, so, and we can open to that, and I can assist you into also feeling into your own body and connect with your own intuition. But as you know, when it's loved ones around us, we can sometimes find it a bit more difficult to really connect with that part of our intuition. So it's about practice. I'm just gonna take a sip of coffee. There's one more thing I want to talk about. And that mainly relates to the older children. So those are the teenagers and young adults. And I see this a lot in the boys. I don't see it so much in the girls, though I see some, especially those who have chosen to bridge a gap between genders right now, that they're going through a time where they're transforming the life experience for all of us, for all of humanity. And some of them, okay, I need to explain that more like in human terms. So if you have a boy right now who's in his teens, early adulthood, and you find that he is having a really difficult time, he might have addiction problems, he might it might be difficult for him to feel what's true to him or his right path, or he might have a lot of emotional stress, or he might not really know what's good for him, or he might be suppressing his emotions. Then know that it's a part of something grander, it's a part of something bigger. So what I've seen for these boys is that many of them come and explore these, I call them the edges of the human experience, and they are meant to bridge a gap between that experience and a higher potential later on. But they're still in the midst of exploring the denseness of it. So they are born with karma, they are born with wanting a mission like that. And that is really up for you as a parent to really breathe into. And I know it from the parents I work with that this is actually a really, really efficient way to support your child, while it sounds like it's not. To really trust them. That is the key point. To really trust that where they are is perfect for them. And what they're doing is exactly what they're meant to do. And that might sound very controversial because you think you're supposed to be in resistance of their experience and want them to do something else, want them to do what's best for them. But the thing is that you don't know what's best for them. There is a higher calling for them, and that is what they're following, while it looks like they're in the midst of the denseness. So what I hear from the parents that I work with is that it actually works wonders to really allow yourself to align with your highest perspective and really allow them to be who they are, and keep refinding the place in you where there's unconditional love for them that might rely on you putting up some really strong boundaries sometimes, but know that it doesn't mean you have to cut the love for them. And the moment you can really also stop blaming yourself around what's going on and that you might have been doing something wrong as a parent, that is also really, really strong experience to really go into that. Okay, no judgment around this, what I'm seeing. It's perfect, he's exploring this, and he's about to bridge over to a higher potential, and he will most likely do fine. I would say he will do fine. So that is also what I get. We have been used to seeing that, okay, if you have an addiction, if you're in this experience, you cannot get out of it. You will be there. You won't get out of it in this lifetime. But understanding that many of us are here to live several lifetimes in one life, so really understand that they will be able to bridge that gap from this one extreme to the other. And that you as a parent are supposed to really trust them and trust yourself that what you've been doing was perfect. So I hope that helps some of you. I know that those are a lot of the questions I received lately, especially about the teenagers, so we don't see the things I described in the children so clearly at the moment, or understand that that is actually what they see. We see because we have so many ways of just doing business as usual or doing what we usually do and not really questioning ourselves in the same way. Thinking that we still have a lot of control of their experience, which we do to a certain degree, but there is also really, really a mastery in these young children, and that's what I hear from parents who are really awake. And I don't know if you see my interview with Laurie, Laurie McMurphy, that was really inspiring too. The way she sees her children and really can feel that it's a co-creative process to be with your children in this lifetime, and that they are born as masters. So it's really up to you to really find into your own mastery around this, and trust the experience, and trust that they know what they're doing, and that you're here to support them and can be guided intuitively in order to support them in the best way, and to not judge what you see. It's not going to help you, and it's not going to help them either. And that is often easier said than done, because this judgment is really conditioned in us. So, one second. So we often return to that judgment as like a default to start blaming ourselves again, almost automatically, but really go back. And that is also why part of why you're here and chose this experience, to really let go of the judgment, because understand that in the higher realms there are really no judgment of any choosing that you have been doing in this experience. There is only love. Okay, so that was all of the sharing about the tendencies I see at the moment for today. If you want to know more about what I do with children, you can go to my website, and I'm gonna post a link and read what I can assist you with, you and your child with. So I have some free time slots in not this week, but the next week. So let me know if you want me to take a look at your child. Sometimes if you have like many doubts that this is the right way, then I can also look into the child before, like look into the situation and see if there's something I can assist with. But most often, if you feel drawn to this, if your child have orchestrated this opportunity for them, there is something to get here. So that is what I often experience, that I feel it's more the children than actually the parents that have been drawing this opportunity to them. So that's quite fun. Often I found that I have suggested exactly the day of their birthday for their session. So that is really funny. Okay, so that was all for today. I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Bye for now.